the first New Year's promise for 2025 will be to get down to a size 14 piece of clothing, either t-shirt, pants, shorts, undies, anything in those sort of bracket, because I have not been a size 14 since probably before high school, so 20 plus years. That's the goal. I'm going to try to get down to size 14. That's my goal size. I've always wanted to be size 14 again. I've always just wanted to be able to shop in the normal section, and as I am speaking, I am a size 16 in clothing. So this isn't a far stretch for me, and I know I will do it by the end of the year. New Year's promise number 2 is I am going to do things that make me feel like me. Anything that makes me feel happy, anything that just creative, anything that just brings me joy, I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it my way. So even if it's just singing a song one day, dancing to music, working on creative projects, working more on Hobbsy the Happiness Fighter takes on the Rivals in WWE, or as I've shortened it now, taking on my Rivals in WWE skit series that I post on all my socials, even investing more of my time in that. Anything just that makes me feel happy and joy, I'm going to do it this year. And lastly, the most important one, the one I really, really want to achieve, and that is claiming the Ultimate Dream Championship of meeting fellow Happiness Fighter Army member, the man, Becky Lynch, sometime this year. I want to do it. I want to get that Ultimate Dream Championship. And the only way I can do this at this moment, because I'm not famous enough on social media or in the world, is through WWE events. So I had to give up on the WrestleMania dream last year because of finance, and that just killed me to walk away from that dream, an Ultimate Dream Championship. But this year, in 2025, I'm going to get it. This is the one I want to get most. This is the New Year's promise that I want to be like, yes, I achieved that this year. And if I get this, I will be over the moon in happiness. My name is Hobbsy, and welcome to the Happiness Fighters Army, where we fight for our happiness, our success, our dreams, against our own version of our own darkness, be physical, mental, life situations, or just the big bad world right now. Where 2025 go? I swear it was just yesterday that I was making my New Year's promises for 2025, and now it's 2026. Where'd that time go? I swear it just flew by. But that could be because I was fighting my own darkness, and time flies when you're fighting your own darkness. So, yeah. If you're tuning into this channel for the first time, I want to say hi, my name is Hobbsy, and I started this army or community for people like me that are fighting their own darkness of physical health, mental health, their life situations, or just the big bad world right now, to have a place where they can come and feel safe and motivated to fight their own darkness, in a nutshell, with love, kindness, caring, compassion, whatever it is that helps you to fight your own darkness, it's here. If it's love, if it's kindness, we will always back you here in this army. We might not show it all the time, but we've got you back against the darkness. Yeah, I just wanted to say that for anyone that's new to this channel. Now, we are looking back on 2025, my life, the Happiness Fighter Army General Leader, what went down, what I overcome. Did I keep those New Year's promises I promised myself in 2025? And then we are going to move on to 2026. New Year's promises and what I look forward to having happen in 2026. And let's see if I kept my 2025 New Year's promises or you could call these resolutions. I just call them promises. It's just easier for me to keep fighting to achieve these promises or resolutions in my eyes. So let's move on with the first one, shall we? And that is to get down to a size 14 piece of clothing. Now, I am happy to say that I achieved that one. I'll put a photo of me in a size 14 piece of clothing. It's some pants and some shorts. So I am slowly getting to a size 14. And for a little context, I haven't been a size 14 since probably late primary school, just start of high school maybe, roughly around that time in my life. And I am 32 now, so that's probably a good, say 20 years, roughly, in a nutshell. So this is a big deal for me. And at this moment, I weigh roughly around 77 to 75 kilos, that sort of range. And if you've been following me, in 2022, I had a health issue. I was diagnosed with fatty liver disease, on top of PCOS, psoriasis, high blood pressure, bronchitis, asthma. There's a long list. I don't want to put you guys with it. And I weighed my heaviest at that time, and that was 141.9 kilos. So I'm basically half my body weight, and I'm noticing it more and more as I lose weight. So yeah, so we can tick off getting to a size 14 piece of clothing. Okay, the second New Year's promise was to do anything that makes me feel more happy and like myself. And I want to say that this was even though for half the year I did do this, for majority I just lost myself to darkness of my own mental health and had to take a break from doing creative projects and dancing most of the time. So yeah, I did not achieve this one. It was almost there, but I'm going to say it's a big. But that's okay. I did do half the year, and I'm proud of myself for that. And when I say I did it, I sang songs when I was sad. I danced like no one was watching. I continued with my skit series, which is a skit series about what if I could take on what is getting down in my, which is all about what if I could take on what is getting me down in life in a WWE ring and put my own personal traits as characters. For example, Dark Side in this skit series is my dark thoughts, and Hobbsy is my happy, confident side, etc. And I write, film, produce, edit all this by myself. And some of the stories that came out this year, oh my god, especially in the second half of the year, were brilliant. I focused more on the karmic world this time and that backstory. And I have big things for this in 2026. Not like big, like social media, I'm going to work with famous people, but in story-wise, I have new character coming in 2026. And her entrance into this, oh my god, it's going to be epic. I just got to write it out at the moment. We saw Hobbsy become a devil champ in this series. So I added belts finally into this series as well. The World Happiness Championship and a new Undisputed Confidence Championship, which is my happiness. Like, I got to do things, and I claimed that at WWE Elimination Chamber in 2024. And the Undisputed Confidence Champion is basically me gaining more confidence to be myself out of my antisocial bubble and loving my body. And I did this at WWE Super Show in October, and that's why I got a belt at that Super Show. I bought one, yes, I know I bought it. And I basically saying it's the Undisputed Confidence Championship because I gained more confidence at that show. We had new characters like Remeta. We had new characters like Remeta. PCOS finally made her entrance. Karma. I think Love was new. I'm not sure, but yeah, we had Hobbsy even become new. We even had Hobbsy become the new karmic queen of the karmic world. I am really loving doing this skit series. It's like my therapy project. So, yeah, big things are coming in 2026. And I cannot wait. I will be taking a break from filming this in January just because where I live in Australia, it's hot in January. I have a condition called heat stroke, which means if I get too hot, I pass out. So if you hear the fan in the background, that's that humming noise. And filming this skit series takes a lot out of me on a general normal weather day, on a hot day. Yeah. So I may do it in January, seeing it is going to be a little bit cooler this summer. But if not, it's going to come back at least in February or March this year. So yeah. So in a nutshell, to things that make me feel more like myself and happy. But I'm proud of keeping up with what I did for half the year. And that leads into the last New Year's promise that I really wanted to achieve this year. And that is to claim, as Hobbsy would put it, the Ultimate Dream Championship, or the ultimate dream of meeting the GOAT, fellow Happiness Fighter Army member Becky Lynch at either in person or at a WWE. Now, this one has been on my New Year's promise list for 2 years now, and I am saddened to say it's a big bubble. It did not happen, only because Becky didn't come to Australia, because that's the only way I can afford to meet her is at a WWE event in my own home country. But yeah, she didn't come, and that's okay. It's just going to mean more when it does happen. I do finally meet her. And like the saying goes, third time's the charm, I say. Now, let's move on to things that happened to me in 2025. I'm not going to go through all the months and that, but I'm going to start with the darkness stuff first. I passed out twice this year. One time, I don't know. The second time, it's because I accidentally touched the stovetop that had just been on, and the burn from that sent my body into shock. And when my body goes into shock, I basically pass out. Any bit of major pain, this happens. And yeah, I'm getting better at the recovery stage with this. After blacking out and then vomiting and emptying my bowels, let's just say, I know what to do now. Rest, recuperate, get fluids into me, and just take it easy for the day or two. But it's getting annoying. It's getting very annoying having to be set back because of my own body. And this has happened to me in the last 3 years 10 times. A couple of times I know I've overeaten or I'm lacking in B12. That's how I actually discovered I was lacking B12. And I'm sick of it. I want to feel so healthy that I don't have this habit. But this is something that I'm going to have to live with the rest of my life and get used to. And at least I've got someone with me, which is my mum. But she shouldn't have to worry about me passing out at her age. It should be the other way around. So, yeah. that was a darkness, plus with my mental health and my general life as well. 2025 was mainly a light year for me, or happiness year. I didn't do much things like big and grand in 2025, but there was a couple of things I want to talk about. Firstly, I went to another WWE live show. I wanted to go to WWE Crown Jewel, but I didn't get tickets in time in Crown Jewel. I wanted Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown and Crown Jewel, but didn't get any tickets. And then a couple of days after those tickets went, there was an announcement of WWE Super Show. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to go to Crown Jewel. I'm going to at least go to a WWE event this year, because ever since I went to Elimination Chamber in 2024, I promised myself that I'm going to go to one WWE show, be it a PLE, a Monday Night Raw, a Friday Night SmackDown, an NXT, a live show, anything like that. So when WWE Super Show came around, I was like, I'm getting tickets. And I got tickets. I actually got better tickets than Elimination Chamber. I got floor tickets. So I know where I'm going next time in seating at my next WWE show, which will hopefully be sometime this year. But yeah, I had the best time at this event. I gained more confidence. This is where the Undisputed Confidence Championship was born. I loved my body. I actually got to see some WWE superstars wrestle live for the first time. I got to see AJ Styles wrestle live for the first time before he retires last year. So while I didn't get to see John Cena wrestle live last year before he retired, I'm glad that I got to see AJ wrestle before he retires this year in person. I got to yeet in the crowd for the first time. I've always seen this at home and I'm like, I want to do that. So I got to do that and it's so much fun. I want to do it again. Some of the WWE superstars that were at this event look so much better in person. Like Stephanie McMahon, Penta, AJ Styles, fellow Happiness Fighter Army member Mummy Rhea Bloody Ripley, who I've seen wrestle live twice now. So yeah. So I had the greatest time there. I got out of my antisocial bubble. I actually felt like a proper 32-year-old adult instead of a 32-year-old teenager like adult. And yeah, I'm just going to follow my heart and I'm going to go to more of these, or as much as I can. So yeah, I had the best weekend. These little trips to WWE shows are the best thing ever for me. It's the best thing for my mental health. And it's worth all the money I spent on flights, accommodation, food, merch, which I spent $300 at this event on merch. I got this Cody Rhodes hat at this event. So yeah, it's worth all the money in my eyes because it brings me pure joy and happiness, even if it's for a couple of days in my life. November, I discovered that I'm 3% Irish. I knew it was Irish somewhere because I love Irish music. I love the Irish accent. I love potatoes. I love Irish WWE wrestlers such as fellow Happiness Fighter Army member, the GOAT, Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, Sheamus, Finn Balor, JD McDowell. JD, not so much, but at least those four, I love them. I love the art of fighting as well. I think this is why I love wrestling, because it's the art of fighting and the storytelling behind that. So to find out that I'm literally 3% Irish makes sense in my eyes. And I really wanted to get tickets to the Dublin show on the road to the Royal Rumble tour, but I just can't afford it now. With Christmas, I spent a little bit too much because I want to go to Ireland now. that I know this. I want to go back to my roots as well. But yeah, so I'm 3% Irish. I am part Netherlands, Lithuanian. So yeah, I finally know where my roots are and know who I am a bit more because of that. Then on the 1st of December, I got this. Yes, that is correct. I finally got my happiness championship tattooed on me. My first ever tattoo as well, and I love it. And the reason why it's my happiness championship is to commemorate the first ever WWE PLE or WWE event that I ever went to in person, and that was WWE Elimination Chamber 2024, where fellow Happiness Fighter Army members, the GOAT Becky Lynch and Mummy Rhea Bloody Ripley, carved their way to WrestleMania 40, Becky winning her first ever Elimination Chamber, and Rhea defending and retaining the Women's World Championship against Nia Jax. And as a South Australian, I am happy about it. The reason why these two are literally tattooed on my body right now is because they were helping me stay motivated to fight my own darkness of financial situations, which is basically me being on a welfare financial system in Australia called Centrelink and not having much money and having to save every last dollar I had to be at this event. It was literally a week out and I still didn't know if I was going. That's how much they were motivating me to be there, and I'm so glad I went there. So I was like, as soon as this event was over, I was like, I'm going to tattoo to commemorate this, and that's what I did, and that's what this tattoo is. It's the Happiness Championship. Dun, dun, dun. And it may look crooked, but it's only because the way my skin is, he said it's going to look crooked if you show people that like that. So you got to show them like that. And yeah, so I booked the tattoo. I finally had a little bit of money spare. So I booked the tattoo. My soul sister's mum took me down there with my soul sister, who also got a tattoo that day as well. So it was a great soul sister bonding moment because where I was getting the tattoo, which I'll put the name in the captions because I can't remember it right now, but where it's like probably a half an hour drive from where I live, so, and I have no license or car. So I asked her and she said yeah. So me and my soul sister, we went up, got our tattoos done. She got hers done first because he was like, that's going to be the less. He said that's going to be the easier one. So she got hers done, and then I was sitting there, and I'm very nervous about things like this, so I was like very nervous all that morning. And then he did it, and I'm going to say it wasn't that painful for me. I've had other things be more painful than that. Yes, it was painful, but it wasn't as painful. I think what helped was me watching WWE Elimination Chamber back while this was getting done. And it got done. We paid it. I actually got $100 off because he said it didn't take as long. And then we just spent the day in Victor doing other things for her and her mum. And yeah, and then I got back, and I think the more painful bit was the self-care of this tattoo. I had cream on it, and I didn't know if the cream was going to react in my body because it had alcohol in it, and I can't really have alcohol things in my cream and that. But fingers crossed it didn't. I didn't pass out because of it. That was my biggest fear as well. And now it looks cool. It's a bit faded, but I love it, and it's given me so much strength. And that's why I'm calling it my tribal happiness tattoo, because I feel like Samoans, when they get tribal tattoos, I feel like this hit me. And now when I'm having a darkness day, I just look at it and I'm like, okay, Becky Lynch can win 2 championships at WrestleMania 35, and Rhea Ripley can go all the way across the pond and wrestle in another company all by herself, then I can at least get through today. And I really, in 2026, really want to meet these two. Well, I want to really meet Becky Lynch, but I really want to meet Mummy Rhea Ripley and show her this tattoo. Because I know she loves tattoos. I want to show her this and be like, I got your name tattooed. So, yeah, that was a pretty awesome day. And it was filled with happiness and joy. Then it was at Christmas time where everything's busy. And a week before Christmas, I started this. Yes, the Happiness Fighters Army finally has some merch and a merch store. And I always wanted to create merch for the Happiness Fighters Army. So then you can wear it and you'll be like, okay, I feel strong. I can fight my darkness today. Or I can just wear my emotions on my clothing. So that's what that is. Some of this is actually for the skit series, Taking on My Rivals in WWE. Skit series, we have the tag team of the Soul Sisters, which is me and my actual Soul Sister. They have some merch now. Also, Hobbsy finally got some merch. Yes, she's finally got some merch. And so if you're a fan of that, you can go buy that. Also, we have some other merch as well. Like this one we have here, and it is a saying that I've been saying lately when it feels like life is getting too hard, but it's all good. And the saying is, it's all goody goody gumdrops, it'll come out in darkness wash. Which basically what it means is that it may seem dark today, but tomorrow it's going to be a better day. That in a nutshell, we have the Happiness Fighters Army logo. Finally, I created a logo and put that on some merch as well. And then we have Trauma Nights merch, which basically as Happiness Fighter Army members, we have to wear our trauma like an armor, like a knight would. So I thought make some merch about that. And I want to say every dollar profit I make of this is going to this GoFundMe to support the victims and survivors of the Bondi shooting that happened last month. As Australian, this is hitting very close to home. And as someone that knows about mental health, I want to help them recover and get the mental health they need and talk to people if they need to. And if you're struggling, you can talk to Lifeline as well. But yeah, someone started GoFundMe to get mental health and the counselling that these people need now. This GoFundMe helps these people get the mental health treatment that they need. If that's simply talking to a counsellor, which if you need to, go do, I do. Every dollar profit that I raise after giving back to the company that makes this, I will donate to this GoFundMe between when I created, which was last month, to the end of this year. And I'm thinking of doing this every month, giving to a different charity, the profits I make of this merch. So if you want to go buy any of this merch and help other people, I will put the link here or somewhere in this video. If you can't find it in this video, it is in my bio. It's also on my social media bios as well. So go check it out. I am very much appreciated if any of you guys go buy this merch. It'll be helping those people of Bondi recover and move on with their life and fight against their own darkness. It'll also get me one step closer to my ultimate dream championship of meeting fellow Happiness Fighter Army member, the GOAT, Becky Lynch, this year. So I'm not forcing anyone to go buy it, but if you like the merch and you want some and you want to go buy it, I say go for it. Now we're in 2026. So overall, 2025 was a good year. I grew mentally, physically, not so much, but mentally I grew as a person. If I had to rate it out of 10 smiley faces, I'd give it a 6.5. Just because of the darkness times felt more overpowering than the light sometimes. But yeah, now let's move on to 2026. Now, what do I expect in 2026? What are those New Year's promises that I'm going to make? So the deal is I usually make 3 of these and try to at least keep one of them to win. So in 2025, we had a win. We lost enough weight to be in the size 14 clothing. So that's a win. Tick, yay. Now let's see if we can get a win in 2026, shall we? So the first New Year's promise for 2026 will be to not pass out this year. And what I mean by that is to be physically and mentally strong enough, because my body reacts to stress very badly, so I have to be mentally strong and physically strong at the same time. So be mentally and physically strong enough that my body doesn't send me into a state where I pass out. Touch wood, that does not happen this year. That's one of the New Year's promises. The second New Year's promise is to be successful in something this year. If it's just simply getting a job, if it's losing weight, which my weight goal for 2026 is to get down to 60 kilos. Like I said, I'm around 77, 75, so that's not too bad and very achievable. If it's being more successful in the skit series, if it's actually getting a novel or book that I've written, Day by Day Fighter, actually published by the end of the year, if it's simple as learning new talent or doing something new, stepping out of my social bubble, just be successful in something this year. That's the goal. Then the last New Year's promise for 2026 is going to be the same one that has been in 2024 and 2025, and that is claim the ultimate dream champion of meeting fellow Happiness Fighter Army member, the GOAT, Becky Lynch, at a WWE event or somewhere else this year. I am so determined to make this one come true. It was one last year and the year before. It was on my 2025 WWE bingo card. I've talked about this non-stop. It's actually a storyline in my skit series. So I'm not just fighting for myself to make this happen. I want to write this into my skit series and have Hobbsy claim that Ultimate Dream Championship. I have been fighting for this since 2022. I have came so close. I'm not letting the darkness destroy this one this time. 3rd time's the charm, I say. This is going to happen, and if it doesn't, I'm going to go down swinging for it. So, yeah, they're my New Year's promises for 2026. Okay, in 2026, here's some vision board things that I want to do, basically. Firstly, maybe move our home. Don't get me wrong, I love living with my mum, but I've never lived on my own, and I need my own independence at this point in my life. Maybe make some friends, fall in love for the first time, have my first kiss, lose the V card. What else do I want to do in 2026? Get that book published that I was talking about. Become more famous because of my skit series. Be more famous on social media to the point that I get invited to premieres of TV shows, movies. I get to do interviews with celebrities even. If I get to do a celebrity interview with Becky Lynch or fellow Happiness Fighter Army member The Rock or even John Cena, I'm claiming this as like a victory. Speaking about those people, also go to another WWE PLE or event in 2026. I will not go to a US one just because of a certain someone that's in charge that rhymes with ump. I don't feel safe as an Australian travelling to the US as long as he's in charge. Let's just say that. So it's going to have to be an international event. He's hoping it's back in Australia, but I'm thinking it's going to have to be an international event. I might go to the Italy one that's been rumoured in May, maybe. Only problem is, as someone that's gluten intolerant, Italy is a big place for pasta and bread and all that. But I've always wanted to go to Italy, so maybe Italy. If not, he's hoping they come back to Australia and have another PLE in Australia. And this is something else I would love to do. Like, I would love to be big enough on social media that Netflix wants me to interview some wrestlers. I will not say no. So if Netflix Australia and New Zealand is watching this, I'm up for the task. I will interview people. I will ask the hard-hitting questions. I will even put my hatred of CM Punk aside just for this. So, yeah, I'll ask the hard-hitting questions. I will be considerate of questions that superstars do not answer. If I have a list of them, I will do my research. I want that job of being an interviewer for Netflix Australia at whatever WWE event comes to Australia. So if they're watching, I'm ready to hire. You can get in contact through my socials. Please, I would love this. Netflix Australia, if you make this dream come true, especially if Becky Lynch is there and I get to meet her, I will promote you non-stop. I don't officially have a Netflix account, my mum does, but I love Netflix, so just putting it out there in the universe, or any other company to do with the WWE promotions as well. If they want to send me there, all expenses paid, I won't say no. What else am I going to do? I'm going to get another tattoo in 2026 for sure. Maybe with my soul sister, get a matching one. But in a nutshell, all I really want for 2026 is to go to another WWE event, meet fellow Happiness Fighter Army members, Seth freaking Rollins, Becky Lynch, and Rhea Ripley. Not to pass out this year, be physically and mentally happy, and just be successful in whatever I want to do this year. So yeah, that's the end of this video. If you want to follow me on my socials, they are here. If you want to buy some merch, it's also in here as well. And if you guys are having a nice, warm, joyful day, if not, I'm sending warm, joyful hugs your way.